Hello everybody, welcome back to the official Nick Walsh TV channel. We're live once again and we are playing Spin and Goes today. So guys, we are going to play some spins today as I just said, but generally speaking, it is sort of action stations for what's happening next week, because starting on Sunday, I'm flying to the Irish Open. I'm going to play some poker early in the week, and then at the end of the week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, we're going to do live streams directly from the Irish Open. We're covering the women's event and then the main event. It's the usual thing. And if you guys enjoy Cards Up, make sure you tune in for that because it's going to be a lot of fun. After I return from Ireland, certain things will have been completed, which means I'll be able to sort of officially move the office into the new flat, which is exciting because, you know, it'll feel more like a unified workspace for me, and that is the point at which I'm going to start to seriously start planning for some more content release. More streams, more short form, more long form, all that good stuff that you guys have come to know and love, including a new challenge. I've got another content idea in mind that I think will be fun, but we got to test it out. But just generally speaking, there's going to be more creativity, there's going to be more progress, and you guys are going to see more of me on social media and here on Twitch and YouTube. But there you go, guys. Hope you're feeling good. We're going to play some poker today. We're going to fire up some 25s, and we're going to take it from there. First of all, let's start with some graph. So you guys can see here, we're making progress. We are in a bit of an upswing, which is nice because we've been on a downswing for quite some games. But overall, this is our big graph. This is as many of the Nick Walsh TV data points that I could sort of retrieve coming from old database and stuff like that. If we filter specifically for this year, however, this is our focus, you guys can see that we're just about almost caught up with our actual chips EV1. We were stagnating here a little bit. We need to find some more elevation like this. A little bit more of that would be nice. And hopefully we can maintain that nice high chip EV that we have at the moment, which should award us more dollars in the long run. So let's get into it, guys. $25 games, one at a time. I think when I start the challenge as well, guys, I am going to experiment with the two tabling on stream so we can get some more volume in for the sake of the challenge, the top challenge. What's up, guys? Hello, everybody in the chat. Hello, Rocksha. Hello, APK. Hello, Sacramento. Hello, Tom. Hello, Curtis. How's it going, buddy? You didn't get out of bed for this, don't lie. Hey, Jakers as well, what's up? I think Jakers was first today. All right, a little bit of raise, a little bit of raise, a little bit of limp. Let's do one of these. And then let's start with a small C-bets. Do we two barrel? Do we two barrel here? Feel like we probably do. Just give him 4-5 of hearts one time, please. Interesting float on the flop. Once he decides to actually connect with the turn, I suppose, you know, can be a non-believer. 8-7 offsuit. Not really sure if we're supposed to be floating that, but could be that maybe we're a little bit exploitable in that position or something, and they're trying to take advantage of that. All things we need to be aware of. Whenever we see regs or perceived regs doing stuff, I don't know. This guy does do some unusual stuff, though, we have noted. It's queens versus 5-6 of hearts. Fair enough. Yeah, that's not particularly weird. The instincts were pretty good, though, to 2-barrel there. Certainly can inspire some folds. This one's a bit of an interesting one. He's min raising off of 11 bigs here. Somewhat scary. I guess it's time to start drinking. Small continue. Once we hit the 9, it is the 9 of hearts. I think we are going to have the best hand quite often on the turn here. Running hearts, not ideal. Little check check. It's got 8-9 of spades. 8-9 of diamonds works better when we have the 9 of spades. I don't know, guys. I don't know. He's trying to tell us he has a big heart, but I'm not sure if that story checks out. Should we look him up? Wish me luck. Oh. 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 Instincts were good. Didn't want to fold 5-4 of diamonds on 10-3-7. We need to make some more notes on this guy. That was the second spot in a row. And, you know, just a little bit crazy.
Actually, if only there was someone that was an expert.
Thank you very much for the
25
follow,
big
Mean
blind,
Boo.
That's what you sound like.
Stream assets. Looking for my stream highlight notes. Here we go. Pocket Jables. We got action chat. What's up, Mean Boo? How come we're not on the PokerStars channel? So I'm doing a mix of streaming on this channel and PokerStars. Basically, we decided that it made more sense for me to do my sort of cards up when I'm like situations where I'm playing on my channel and continue to do the PokerStars stuff otherwise. So I'm still doing Sunday Million, still doing Chat Pro Poker Show, still doing Streamer Showdown, Scoop, W Coop, you know, Sunday Million Anniversary, obviously last night was another one that we like to cover. But now it's going to be a blend of PokerStars, Nick Walsh TV, and Hippodrome, because I'm doing some work with Carrie Jane as well. Let's go back and make some notes on this player, because there's obviously something going on here. Little limp jam with the sixes. That was a big pickup here at that point. 20 big blinds now. Going down with the blinds going up, of course. Pretty easy push here, guys. Pretty standard. Running into ace queen. Obviously not what you're looking for, but still very standard. We're not going to change how we play this game at all. You'd rather not just run into the top of their range, but that's not the point, especially against somebody we perceive to be quite reggy. Right, so that's really the note here. Yeah, it's playing a very unusual style, and I'm really not sure what to make of it. But we're starting to get a pretty good picture on how to exploit that player, and obviously we find a really nice call with the Jack-9. Yeah, anyway, Mean Boo, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow. But yeah, while we're just waiting, basically had a conversation with Louis, our Twitch manager, and I was like, I love streaming on the Central channel, but for me it's a bit weird when on the Stars channel I feel like it's really important that we have a strict schedule because people need to know like when to expect certain things coming out. And that was fine for me to be streaming at a specific time. It was just that on, you know, there were days like on Mondays and Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays when I was like, I think I'll just go live, and I think I'll just kind of like, I'm just in the mood to have a stream. I felt weird randomly going live on the PokerStars channel, like unannounced, and then also people get a notification, it says PokerStars is going live, and they're like, oh, like, is this a UKIPT, or is this an EPT, or is this a scoop, or whatever, and then it's just me playing spins. It just felt a bit like not quite right. It's not like the right messaging. So I decided that would take my playing streams to my channel, grow this channel, which is going pretty well. We're almost to 1,000 followers now, which is obviously a really, really quick start. We've only done a few streams here so far this year for the first time. And then what we do is continue with the sort of PokerStars theme stuff over on Stars. And like I said, start to do some more work with Carrie Jane over at the Hippo and see if we can kind of make that a reality for us. I don't know this player, but generally speaking, we're going to be more aggressive with some of our medium strength stuff. Like against good players, we would hate to raise and then be forced to fold King Jack, for example. Against an unknown, their limp jams are going to be a lot less likely, and therefore we're just going to play in position with better hands more often, which is always a good thing. Can we cold deck SVM here? Okay, so they cold decked us, we get to cold deck them back. I accept. This is the way of the jungle. Oh. 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 Very cold. But yeah, we shove the ace-8 in against ace-queen. Standard spot. SVM's going to do the same thing. They shove fives there. We're going to shove fives there. There are certain situations that people get really obsessed about. Like when you're on a bit of a downswing as well, when you're playing spins, a lot of people are like, oh, everything I do is wrong. Like, oh, I'm being so unlucky. But like those spots will happen like a million times in your career. Those situations where you're shoving, like you shove fives and they have aces, it's going to happen like a million times over the course of your career. I wonder if we turn him to a bluff here. We probably have a bit too much showdown, right? We're like beating like tons of missed draws.
Was an expert at big line.
I think the 5 is, we can have him out kicked with a 5. You know, it's just one of those spots. I think there are situations where bluffing. I don't think we need to with a hand that strong on that river given the action. Mr. Iron, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome. Good to see you. Now I wonder if we do actually turn this one into a bluff. That was a really quick check on the flop. I'm gonna go with my gut here. We're gonna fire. We're gonna take this one away. And this one is fine. We do a mix of limping and raising. I think we can just fire this flop. That seems fine with the straight draw. Now there is a question as to whether or not we bet the turn. I think we do. I think we just go for it. And then I guess we're going for all the jewels. Do we run into a boat? I think most of the two pairs check raise the flop. That become boats on the river, so I think we probably just basically have the effective nuts. Not going to really run into other boats that often, either with sets that improve to boats. This one is definitely close against a reg. I would say that against the unknown, we can afford to be a little bit more patient, a little bit more cautious. If you really wanted to, you could probably give him a spin there. The biggest issue that I have is, like, if you look that up in Nash, it's going to be a slam dunk call. But also, Nash is assuming that you're shoving all of your range that you're supposed to in that situation, and unknown players are not going to be shoving 8-7 suited and 6-5 suited and 3-5 suited and all the other stuff that they're supposed to have in that situation. They're not going to be shoving 8-9 offsuit and all that jazz. It's totally fine to know your push fold, but you got to understand it's almost never applicable as we get deeper because there are alternative lines that will indicate strength more often. 150 away from 1K. Oh, it's exactly. What a nice number there as well. What a lovely flat number. Now, I don't think we can fold the flop yet. We have the gut shot. We have the heart in hand, which means we can probably rep hearts if he slows down on later streets. See how he responds on the turn. And the Ocho might be good enough. Just pit by the 10. That's a shame. If we don't run into the 8 there, we probably will bluff and potentially get the 10-5 to fold on that run out for sure. One thing I will note about this player is that they do seem fairly aggro. So, like, you know, when we're looking maybe at the later part of the game, as to whether or not we're going to call, you know, closer to Nash, I think we're probably fine to do so. And just a small bet here on ace-2-7. Should get the job done very often. This player also seems to be playing more of a min-raise or fold game. Not seeing too much limping, which again is not going to be optimal, but still plenty effective if they're doing it with the right range. Yeah, no, I'm not going to buy this. I know we have absolutely no hand, no draw, but when people are leading on these boards, I really don't believe in giving them credit for it. And then we get away with just the quarter pot on the turn, I think. Eight-9 is a concern. King-Queen is not a concern. I don't think he plays a 10 this way, and therefore I'm going to go for it. Wish me luck. Yeah, Jack-7 can definitely call. We want to make a note about the lead on this board for future hands. Otherwise, we're going to call this one off and just run it for less than 2.6 bigs. Let's just make a little note here. And we'll talk about this spot in just a second in more detail, guys. One sec. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Thank you very much for the new sub. Who just resubbed? New sub goal of 10 was completed. Thank you very much. I don't have those set up. That's all automated. I'm not sure who actually gave me the new sub. There it is. Jakers with the resub. You're the man. Right, so let's take a look at this one. So there's a couple things going on here. Honestly, not afraid to just play the way the hand I played, and I think we're kind of hitting the nail on the head in several ways. So number one, When people are this shallow and we arrive on this flop, it's very, very unusual for people to lead a jack or a 10. It's just not something that people do, full stop, okay? If they do it, that's fine. We can make a note, and then we know how to proceed in the future, because obviously you can play lots of spins. But I would say that more often than not, what tends to happen in these situations is players will lead because they perceive this to be a dry flop, because they think they can take it from us, and then the small 1/4 pot on the turn is going to get the job done. When we arrive on the river and the quarter pot on the turn doesn't work, we have to sort of surmise that he has something of some variety. At this point, king queen is basically an impossibility, because that would have been played differently pre-flop. That would have probably been a shove or a raise. I think for him to lead trip 10s and then not to continue leading is very unusual. So when we arrive on the river, 8-9, like I said, is a possibility, but then also he's going to have some jack X, and it's going to be very weak jack X as well. Not that that matters so much, because the sort of the kicker doesn't mind here because we're chopping. But again, players calling for chops is generally a bad thing. I don't know if this guy is aware of that, but calling for a chop in this situation is pretty poor. Now we can have 8-9, we can have trip 10s, we can have king queen, we can have jacks, we can have 10s, we can have a10, we can have aces, we can have ace 10, we can still have kings and actually be value shoving here, and queens, and we would do so as well. Queens and kings are an absolute mandatory value shove on this river. So when you really boil it down, our opponent has a pretty good price to call with a jack. The way that we've played the hand, however, is it's really difficult for him to have the best hand, or a hand that's not chopping. Like I said, we have a massive range advantage on this texture, especially because our opponent is basically not going to play a 10 like this. That's not so much a range advantage as much as just like a tell. He's not going to have king queen. He's not going to have ace 10. He's not going to have king. He's not going to have any strong pocket pairs. Definitely not going to have jacks or anything like that too. At this stack depth, they could have aces, I suppose. I think we are supposed to check back aces as we get shallower here at some point. But en masse, what you need to do if you're calling on this river is you're calling, because we've narrowed it down to him basically having a jack or a hand that he can still fold, right? Maybe a flush draw on the turn or something. If he has the flush draw, obviously he can't call. If he has the jack, you're praying that I have no hand, and on this river, it's very hard for me to have no hand. I will have a jack, I will have queens, I will have kings, I will have an ace, I will have trip 10s, I will have 8-9. Yeah, we have 5 deuce on this occasion, but we have 5 deuce on this occasion because the lead is already unusual. Now we have a note for the lead in future, so it's not going to become an issue. I think probably you're going to be very hard pressed to find anyone who has a bluff on this river, which is why I think probably calling down here is going to be pretty nasty. Just when you think about it, I think it is going to be very difficult to make that a good line from him. All right, $100. Thank you once again, Jakers. All right, we're not folding fours here. I don't know what this guy is 3.5xing, but we're about to find out, I think. Four. Nice hand, buddy. Lost the flip. Again, want to make a note about this. There are regs who have found ways to include limps on buttons as part of their strategy. If you actually give the solver limps on the button, it will use it in some variety, but it's pretty hard to put in place, and it makes your life quite difficult. So overwhelmingly, no regs have any limps from the button whatsoever. 3.5x from the button will never exist. It's not a thing at all. If you want to do it, you can do it. It's going to be very, very bad for your bottom line, though. 3.5x stack. Button, chin, multi-way 25 effective was king, queen off. All good. It's not something we need to take personally, but it is something we want to be aware of for future. 3.5x call off with king queen is probably not going to be the end of the world, but you don't need to 3.5x. There's not any benefit. If you want to raise call with king queen, you can min raise and call a shove as well. It's fine. Okay, this is the first matchup from the first match. Arena and SVM. Arena, the player that hates to fold. ultimate CFWF. Oh dear. We don't need to turn ace high into a bluff here, guys. I mean, betting might be valuable in the sense that we might deny some equity, but I think checking is also cool. Getting check raised also really sucks there. Okay, the player that never folds. Now we just let them blast off. We know how wide that they float. Ugh, most tilt river ever. Most tilt river ever. I actually didn't even mean to bet as much as I did, guys. That was a misclick. I meant to bet 4, and then I already had a 1 in the actual box. The fact that they have 3-6 is also, like, just quit poker forever tilt. All right, so... yeah, really stupid. I meant to bet 4 on the river, not 14, so I'm not folding against this player. Once they shove as well, this is the same player that doesn't fold, so they will level us where they expect us to try and get them off the chop pot. If we check there in that specific situation and they bet big, we're still probably going to end up calling, but very, very annoying spots with the chop pot on the board. Again, calling for a chop, you guys, is something that I do not approve of. Calling for chops is not something I approve of, chat, so you know, misclicks aside, all misclicks aside, ignore that spot because that's not how I would have played it. Oh, 6-3 just makes me puke. That's a particularly silly spot. All right, how CFWF are they feeling today? Oh, it's a heart, okay. Really hate to get check raised here. Nice, getting paid is good though. Calls down here with King 6 offsuits, which is top pair to be fair. I think 2 barrels here is good. This might even be worth tripling off when we're blocking the King Jack here. Pretty awful run out, really. You gotta call for the chop so the poker gods sometimes rewards you with the whole pot. They say in 10-6. If it doesn't run out trip queens, I think we probably can go again here. I don't know if I'm thinking about that in the right manner, but it's okay. I think we're fine. I think the big issue is that they can just have Queen X that was a straight draw and then becomes trips. Ace high for the win. Definitely a push here, guys. No messing around.
If only there was someone that
Thank you very much for the
was
new follow.
was an expert at sub 25
The
big
Unruh
blind,
Effect. Interesting name.
That's what you sound like. That's a voice.
Can we get much higher? Yeah, boy. And now heads up begins. Heads up begins. Do we fire this one? Let's fire this one. What's up, Dunbar? Trap the fives. Pocket fives for the win. Alright, let's spin this one here. As the bluff ISO. Ace high for the not lose. Exactly. I think we can probably just go here. Two barrels for the memes. Feels good. Pocket fours! King Queen has not been kind to us today. King Queen has not been kind, guys. King Queen, not cool, bro. Deuces that never lose this. It's a good call. We've kind of hit the nail on the head, though. We found we kind of are putting them on a 4 or a 5 there. It is a really, really nice call from that hand, though, which you got to respect. But I think it's also fair to say that we are putting that hand in a tricky situation on the river. I think that is fair. We are playing our ass off, as it were. So the heads-up battle rages on here. 4x ISO. I don't know. I don't know against this player. I don't know. I don't really feel like we've been getting raised that often. $75 buckers, man. Can we get the whole 75 buckers? I don't know about that 4 big blind ISO. It's a weird size. Should we trap? Oh man, they're just gonna have an 8 or something, aren't they? Yeah, pocket 7s. That's annoying. That is an annoying one, guys, but hard to get value from that if we do lead. I think they might find a hero call some of the time if we bet small on the river, but here you go. This is a sad story, isn't it, guys? This is a sad story, this pot. Ugh, fuck me. Oh, I hate these spots so much. Like limped pots where you just have hands that you don't even want. Limped pots where you just don't even have a hand that you want to play, and you're forced to play it on those flops, and it's just like, get out of my house. We win the flip there. That feels good. Let's just do this one here. Let's do this one here. 42% again. No good in the all-in here. Tricky game. Tricky game indeed. We did put in a good showing there, though. Just didn't work out with the all-ins at the end. So we play another. So we play another. Oh, it's a 1-2-5. Nice. All right, 3 bets of 5 big blinds here. Me and Stranky go way back. Stranky. On, shove the big. Hates to fold to these. Absolutely hates to fold to these spots. These 3 bets. Stranky. All right. So, do I think they have a 6 or a 5? Probably not that often. I think we still have to check anyway. I think flush draws are definitely still a possibility. Could even get them to try and value bet a queen on this river. They got to bet their missed clubs sometimes as well, I suppose. We're calling a river bet. We're calling a river bet. Pocket 4 is calling a 3-bet there is a bit weird. I think 4s are just supposed to 4-bet jam. But that worked out fine. Spin Poker Challenge, what's up? Good to see you. How are you getting on? How's the challenge doing? Hello, Sigma. My gut was telling me that he had the winning hand on that all-in with the 10-6. Yeah, me too. Made me feel sad. Just didn't want to be in the pot at all. I feel like the check raise is correct. We actually have a reasonable kicker to go with our 6 as well, which means that, like, you know, we are actually getting called by worse 6x once in a while. It's not like a huge part of it. Ooh, Stranky gets lucky here. I don't think you're supposed to call 3-bets with pocket 4s there. Could be completely wrong. Pretty sure. All right. Let's get back in this fight here, chat. Let's win this 1-2-5. There's the clown again, yeah. Does seem to be quite the prolific rag. Strank E. Stranky, Stranky. Tranquilo. Eight of hearts, 2 of hearts. Can we get much higher? Interesting. That's a good flop. Do we check raise when our hand is this strong? Probably not. Stranky. Strank E. And then check again. Guess we got a trap now. The challenge is doing fine, but I've been sick lately, so not playing much. The bankroll is at 57 after starting from 25. I have 100 GPV at those stakes for about 600 games. Nice. Yeah, the trap is effective here, guys. I think the best way to make this look like a bluff is actually the non-all-in, though. This one, this is the size. This is the size. Stranky! Yeah, baby. The tramp of a lifetime calls us with 4-3 offsuit. Stranky says nice. Definitely a little bit of a cooler, to be fair. But the tramp was successful. Let's bet the flop. I have to stream more on too on Twitch a bit, try to show my face on camera. There's no reason to be shy, buddy. Just go ahead and do it. I'm glad to hear the challenge is going well. Oh, I really don't want to call for a chop, but oh, this one's brutal. You know how I feel about calling for chops, guys. At some point, we probably need to, but you know, kind of is what it is. Stranky. Stranky's definitely a good reg, though. Definitely a good reg. And limp. I mean, the challenge is way more fun if you stream it, but I would suggest getting on stream more. Maybe just start with a. You can start with a smaller camera. That's how I started on OP Poker. Not because I was shy, just because we had a bad overlay. Yeah, we're definitely going to call the check raise. Probably take the free card here. We still have a lot of equity. Plus, we can also still do something else on the river, I guess. Oh, if he has 4-5, that'd be frustrating, wouldn't it? Let's just try and do this, huh? I was gonna say, it feels like it's gonna be exactly that. 3-4, 4-5, that kind of thing. That's exactly what we target with that sizing as well. It's fair enough. But we're definitely in the zone in terms of our reads today, guys. Like, all the spots where we've been putting in bluffs, we're like finding the exact hand that we're targeting to try and fold as well. When they check raise and slow down, it just feels like it's 4-5, 3-4, that kind of thing so often. The fact we have two of our cards in the straight draw and brick as well is super annoying. Like, we actually end up just having the dream, and we're getting check raised where we have the best hand with the better draw, and they find it against us. It's a good tramp. GG to Stranky for the 1-2-5. That pot is super annoying as well. Obviously, we're always showing ace-5 versus limp here, guys, so there's not really anything else to analyze on that front. This is the one that cost us the 8-9 spot. Like, we've actually played our hands so well in this situation, right? Like, we're finding, we're getting check raised by the worst hand with a better draw, much better draw. We get the free card, and then we go, don't think he has a 7, don't think he has a 6, don't think he has a king, don't think he has backdoor hearts. He's gonna have some random high cards, or some random cards that are still drawing, or it's gonna be 4-5, 4-3. And then we've literally gone like this as though we're value betting a 7, a 6, or a king. It's a good call with a 4. Like I'm not criticizing the call, but this is like the 4th time in today's stream that we've more or less nailed the hand that we want to try and get to fold, and we're still getting called. So it's like, is what it is. The previous game, it was the we were trying to bluff them off second pair from the flop as well when he had Jack 5 or whatever it was. Again, very respectable calls on both fronts, but we're hitting the nail on the head today in terms of what we're targeting, and we're actually finding really good sizes to target them as well, but we're just getting unlucky with the calls. Nice answer. Good game. Next game, please. What's up, Black Elf? We're stretching the word crushing, aren't we? Yeah, a little bit. Just a little bit. Today is certainly a little bit of a stretch. How you doing, mate? Looking forward to seeing you soon. Irina. Thank you very much for the subscription. Pokestar Strag, how's it going, buddy? Thank you so much for the support as always. 2 streets of value against CFWF Irina. The most unfoldingest of all players. You know, it just doesn't matter. This is the most important note on this table. Woo! Thank you very much for the gifted tier 1 sub to Black Elf as well. It's very kind of you. What's up, Zephyr? He needs all the help he can get. Yeah, he does have the worst luck, Tom. The master of passes. Rohis is asking, why are the big blinds red for the other players? It's because it's the automation. So basically, it's because they're shorter stacked. It's not me doing that. That's the system. So if you go to table settings, table appearance, table display, you can turn on color coding for chip stacks. So in spin and goes, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really make a difference. But basically, what that is indicating is that they're shorter stacked, so it applies more for MTTs. It applies more for MTTs because this is a tough one. I'm gonna struggle to fold here, guys, to be honest. I'm gonna struggle to fold on any street now, but wish me luck. Brutal. Nice hand, sir. Really, really nice. Tricky spots against a good player. We've played quite a lot with this player now. Oh, now we're gonna run into a set here. Nice hand, Irina. Yo, Lawler, thank you very much. We're gonna need it today. Not off to the best start, but I think we're playing fine. Maybe not the Super A game, but we're playing pretty good poker. But if you're seeing any color coding on the stacks, that's coming directly from PokerStars. It's the it's usually most useful for when we are playing PKOs, because if you're playing an MTT and you can see the shorter stacks color coded around the table, it gives you an idea that there's a chance you could potentially be going for bounties. Seems like 2 barrels to me. Getting shoved down on the turn is an interesting one. He can have combo draws with hearts, although having the 9 of hearts kind of sucks. He can have worse queens is an issue. He can have just the bare flush draw. He can have, you know, he can have a lot of stuff. I don't think we can fold to the shove on the turn. Wish me luck. Ooh, get lucky anyway. That's cool. 10-4 of clubs is a nice hand though on that turn. Zhao Zero, what's up over on YouTube? CFWF, can't fold, won't fold. Just players that are very sticky. Yeah, the Queen 9 spot is just what it is. Having the 9 of hearts is not ideal because you really want them to have, you know, 9x of hearts that has the straight draw and the flush draw, but I've seen players do the same thing with Queen 5 of clubs, Queen Deuce of diamonds. Sometimes they'll just have like 9-10 or like Jack 10 where they've got like a straight draw and they've turned second pair. There's just too many ways for us to be winning there, I think, to folds. Just got to grit your teeth and call. I think the kicker thing is probably one of the most important issues, because if some of their value is actually going to be dominated, then we need to call for sure. Usually in situations where your opponent can have bluffs but then also can have perceived strength that they're misplaying, then, you know, we need to make the call. I'm flying on Sunday, Black Elf. Very exciting stuff. Yeah, it means villain won't fold, Joe. Basically, we can't anticipate that we're going to be able to get him to fold easily. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're playing poorly. Like, sometimes CFWF is just players that are really sticky, that are just non-believers. Sometimes it means that they're non-believers to the point where, like, we should just be barreling off into them because they never fold, and we can just get most... Like, when we have a strong hand, we should just go for it. think we probably go for value here. Go for value, go for a bluff. Walsh says, I binked a 20-person horse on stars last night. You were two of the persons. What's up, Julian? Cheddar Bob, what's going on? How's it going, Jules, man? Good to see you. Queen Hearts. Queen 5 Hearts. On the paired board, Queen High still has some showdown. Obviously, having a flush draw is nice too. At this point now, probably likely we're up against King High or Ace High or Queen High. But there's not really any point in... Sometimes we're up against Jack High still against regs here. Players still going for value even. It's an inside joke, Raksha. Cheddar Bob was a character from 8 Mile. And I do have a friend called Cheddar Bomb who shot himself in the leg with his own gun. All right, Reg v Reg call. Sunday Million is a phase, correct. This week is going to be Phase Million. Unfortunately, guys, I won't be here to actually do any commentary on it because we'll be in lovely Dublin. Lovely sunny Dubs. Phase Millie is very juicy. The last time it ran, it was a really good turnout. Money was really good. 10-9 spades. This is one we can actually limp. If they shove, we still have to call. But the idea is that it's a hand that we're happy to take the equity with regardless. Shoving is very, very profitable, but also by limping, we give ourselves the opportunity to play a really strong hand in position when they're forced to check back. You see we have, close to 50% equity here pre-flop against the King 7. We don't win the flip, unfortunately, but 9-10 suited will be 100% limp, 100% call first jam. Can we call a shove here? Okay, we can't call a shove here. We will take a flop then. And facing barrel, probably find a float. Ooh, they check the flop. Interesting. So often 2 overcards or the heart will be good. As played, looks like they might already have some showdown like King High, etc. No, there's not really a whole lot we can do here. Don't think bluffing river makes any sense. Trapping pocket nines is good. We'd love to see a shove from here. Otherwise, on this super dry texture, we'll take a check. We're finding leads. Just call. Nine's full, baby. Nine's full is a good hand, yeah. Thank you for clarifying the cheddar. No problem, mate. That's a cold deck against going back up, though. Obviously, turns it straight, never folding. Obviously, going for value every time. Mean Boo is asking about Phase Million. So basically, the way it works is there are a series of Phase 1 tournaments throughout the week for the Sunday Million. If you get to the end of your phase, and if you make it to the end of that day, you're immediately in the money. And then there's many of those over the week that combines into day 2, and all day 2ers will play for the big money. Trap with the jacks here, pretty standard again, guys. Not really too much science. Ace 5 is definitely the correct shove as well. Similar shove to what we did earlier where we got cold decked. And again, these are Today has been really a series of these situations and spins where we're just kind of always doing the same thing and we're just kind of running into it. But it works in both directions, so it will even out. 9-7 suited is a very good push here for 5.25 bigs. In fact, 9-7 suited theoretically can be shoved much, much deeper. Jack 10 mandatory call, especially against reg here. It's going to have way too much equity at this stack depth, so we just run it. We're dominating some Jack 6 suited. It's a good turn. It's a good river. All right, sweet. Thank you, Julian. Appreciate it, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Drop me a message if you ever head this way. It's been far, far, far too long, my friends. All right, so we play. Next game. Pretty big continuation bet there. Do need to work on my c-bet sizing and spins. Definitely need to work on my c-bet sizing and spins. I think our strategy is very good. I mean, it must be very good. We've got good results, but definitely missing out on some edge there. Do have a friend who shot himself in his leg with his own gun. I did get jumped by all 6 of you punks. I do have a friend called Cheddar Bomb who shot himself in the leg with his own gun. I did get jumped by all 6 of you chumps. Who is beeping? Bro. Ugh. Six and a 4. We'd love to get some action with 10s. Big blinds all in. No. Max pressure. Oh yeah, 40%, no problem. 7. Lost the 60-40, unfortunately. If you make phase 2, no matter what your stack, you cannot enter another phase 1. It's a good note as well. All right, $100, let's go. Your stack goes to day 2 without the option to play for more chips. Yeah. There is something to it there. Oh, Irina. Two barrels seems good here. Oh, just give me the spade. This is actually a potential to go triple because we can still get a 10 to folds. If he checks the river, I would argue that probably clubs are not going to be often in the range when they shove. It's just going to be whatever. But if they check that river, they will have weak aces. They will have 10x. They will have an assortment of things that probably do need to fold to the third barrel. But the way that we played the hand indicates strongly that we have showdown, and therefore when we see the club on the river, it is an interesting opportunity for them to lead, because if we do have a hand like ace king or something, we're probably not going to want to barrel on the club river because it just looks like a scare card to us too often. Sorry guys, do have a bit of got the sniffles today. We will call a shove here if we need to. Otherwise, we're gonna play ace 10 in a pretty good flop here. We're gonna have the best hand a lot with the clubs as well as useful. Might even consider doing some checking here, to be honest. Our hand is that strong. See how that turns out.
Actually, if only there was someone that was an expert at sub 25 big blind. That's what you sound like. That's your voice.
Thank you very much for the follow. Can we win $100? That was Captor. Thank you for the follow, dude. Oh dear, I disagree, to be honest. I think the face thing is pretty cool, personally. Alright, wish me luck. Definitely a call here, especially against the known reg. Can we get a little equity here is the question. No equity for us. Wow, that worked out okay. I will accept the slight advantage. So, I thought I had a command for it, but basically there's a question about the tagging. Basically, blue indicates that they're doing things that are unusual or things that we want to remember for future that we think are differentiating from GTO. And then this sort of yellowy green color, I see it as yellow because I'm colorblind, is going to be that basically indicates that we think that they're playing more of a reg style game, more of a GTO based game. You don't like it? See how it goes? I mean, we've already done it once before, dude. I don't know if you missed it, but we've already had a phase million. Interesting. I actually think there's a chance we might value bet now. Like, still get called by like a deuce. I think an 8 probably just bets the river, to be honest. Could have a hand like 6-7 that still calls. I think this is quite cute. I'll take it. This is the second one. The first one has a prize pool of over 1.4 million, so it did seem like a lot of people liked it. I personally, I think it's a good idea. I like it. As a broadcaster, I don't like the fact that the broadcast happens on a Sunday, but that's just purely for like logistical reasons. I think having it on a Sunday and finish on a Sunday is cool for players, though. Also, is the chart, Raksha, is the chart command not working? Oh, Wolfman, sorry, you're posting that in. You're posting that on YouTube. I don't have that set up on YouTube. How do I turn Nightbot on for YouTube? What's going on? So sign in with YouTube, and then the Nick Walsh TV account. Trapping King Queen. This is pretty bold. Oh, I logged into the wrong one. Shit. Sorry, guys. This is the big ISO, so we're at 14. This is wrong. Shit. This is the one I wanted. Definitely just a limp call here, guys, with the intention of probably not folding. I think we might even consider just shipping on the flop here. We are going to have the best hand a Laura times. Pocket nines is also a good hand, but there you go. If we limp jam, it's the same outcome, right? We're still putting it in against nines. It's a cold deck that we can't really avoid. The only way we ever really can get away from it is if we limp call and then fold flop, which I think is too spicy. We could probably get away with just calling flop and then proceeding from there. That's probably better, to be honest. This is a good flop. If we get raised, I'm not folding. Nice. Yeah, sorry, Wolfman, if you want a link, though, come across to, let me just do it over here. Let me send you a link, dude. There you go. Sorry, that wasn't helpful. I was in the middle of doing a few things, but I should just do that instead. There you go. Take a gander. We will call a shove here if we need to. Small continuation bets. Pick up a gut shot on the turn. Not ideal. Betting with the gut shots. Do we triple with the gut shots? Do we triple with the gut shots? Triple with the gut shot. Let's do it.
makes more sense. There we go. That's why it wasn't working. No problem, Wolfman. Let me know if you need any help. I'm always happy to assist with hand reviews and stuff like that. Now, how do I do this? Just fold that one. Chat moderation, here you go. Oh, that's the automation. Supports, settings, managers. Oops. Sorry, guys. Definitely a call here. Wish me luck, guys. Nice little domination situation. Good heads up for us there, gang. Just unlucky. Let's run another one. Let's run another. All right, so good game for us there. Just unlucky on that final all-in. Now let's recenter, refocus, and restore our win rate here that we have. Because we need some elevation, guys. We're on a bit of a dip now. And I'm not here for it. I am absolutely not here for the downswing. All right, we'll find a limp with the 9-7. All right, check or bet the turn. I think this is a little bit more trappy. I think the trap is better. Five, 6 is a slight concern, but we're not folding, obviously. Check again. Now we really want him to have 5-6. But primarily what we're doing is trying to catch bluffs. It looks like we've played ace high or something like that, haven't we? When we bet flop check turn. Oh, can we catch a bluff? Oh my God, did we ever catch a bluff, baby? Let's go. That one is going to look good on the graph. The check on the turn is nice. To add our user ID to the manager option. Beautiful. Add a manager. Add. Yeah. Add a manager. Yeah, add. All right, now destroy this heads up. Get back on track for the day. Because we are de-essing right now, guys. Surely you should be honing that fine MTT game ahead of the Irish Open. To be fair, I have been playing a lot of MTTs, Drag. And I have had some pretty good results recently. But in my mind, I'm also gearing up for my new Spin and Go challenge that I'm going to try and take on after Irish Open. I don't know, maybe on Friday I'll do an MTT session. Tomorrow there's no stream, by the way, guys. I have a bunch of life admin that I need doing that needs to happen specifically tomorrow, including a doctor's appointment, which I know you guys will appreciate is important also. But I will do a stream on Friday ahead of the Irish Open, possibly MTTs. Yeah, that's probably not a bad idea, Strag. All right, Ace Jack, please wish me luck. Sick run you're on here, Nick. Well done. Really sick run we're going on here, gang. Yeah, King Deuce obviously is a mandatory call. Running into King Jack, pretty unlucky. 6, a 5, a 3, a 2, a 1. How many licks does it take to get to the center of the Tootsie Pop? I think Carol's probably a reg as well, by the way. Are you like the head boss of PokerStars? I mean, some would say more like the head troll. He's the head of something or other. Oh, get the fuck out of town. No! I accept. Live by the sword, die by the sword. Oh my goodness. Can we get a little ace queen of hearts action, please? Please! Whee! That's more like it. Roller coaster continues. Meanwhile, saying what's the new challenge? I haven't worked out it exactly, but basically I am going to play and track between $100 and $250,000 in Spin and Go buy-ins. King Deuce, all in, trap by queens. He's done it. He's done it, chat. 75 bucks. So yeah, at the moment, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a small number and then we're going to increase it if it is popular. But the idea is I'm going to play at least $100,000 worth of Spin and Goes, either at the $25 or $50 stakes, mostly on stream, which is a different feature because I was going to do a heads-up challenge that I was going to do mostly off-stream, but it's going to be mostly on-stream, some off-stream. I'm working out exactly how I'm going to record it, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a lot of it here on stream in long form, and then I'm going to record that and then use that to create short form content for Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Reels, so people can stay updated with the challenge there. Definitely moaned it in, Zephyr. All right, next game. So what I mean by that is, you know, on Instagram or whichever short form platform you prefer, Shorts or TikTok or whatever, it'll be like session 1, you know, introduction, and then it'll be me going, and then it'll be me playing, bing, 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 all sped up, and then at the end it'll be like, you know, biggest multiplier, it'll be like biggest multiplier scene, biggest multiplier 1, you know, dollar result, EV dollar results, graph, all of the vital statistics all at the very end, keeping track of the entire situation. After all that time, I know. Not too shabs, man. To be fair, we earned that game. We deserve that game after the tramp we put on that guy with the queen jack. This is probably check raise territory, guys. Check raise territory. Woo! That is a little bit more like it, bruv. What is this clip? Good clip. Get the fuck out of town. Oh, that's a good one. That is a good one. Uncle Curtis will like that one. Nice clip strag. This guy is just slamming in a million big blinds, apparently. Can't say that I approve, sir. I can't say that I approve. Yeah, I'm sure you're going to like it, Mean Boo, if you don't already follow me on my social medias. Exclamation mark Nick in the chat. That's over on Twitch. I don't know if we've had a chance to move it across to YouTube yet, but I'm going to sort out our situation with Nightbot on YouTube. We'll always love you. Many seems like very happy just to be slamming in chips. There you go. Excellent, excellent note. We'll always shove King Jack. Ooh. Is Uncle Curtis coming to Dublin? Unfortunately not. Fortunately or unfortunately. Uncle Curtis, I asked him if he wanted to come, but it's not going to work out on this occasion. We will get him to Dublin eventually. He didn't get a chance to qualify or anything. Strag has actually seen my my schedule as well, which looks pretty juice. Really, really happy with the way things fell this year, actually. I will get a chance to play a fair amount of poker outside of just cash. Probably going to regret not playing more cash, as I always do, but there you go. I played a cash game last night, Strag, and it was brutal. It was brutes, man. I was slightly down overall on the sesh. Managed to grind up a little bit more. Was still down a little bit. Had about 500 in front of me, and I said, right, guys, last hand of the day, last hand of the night, and proceeded to go house over house for all of it in the last pot. Pretty Pretty brutal setup there. Speaking of brutal setups, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. Running into pocket tens like that. This seems to be true though if he's just slamming in tens rather than doing something clever. Not a bad move though. You know, shoving tens there can be fine. I think it's a combo that probably wants to try and get a little bit more value in general though, but I think it's fair. And sevens, absolutely slam dunk mandatory call. We're actually going to end up having a really, really reasonable amount of equity in these situations as well. Speaking of reasonable equity. Oh, how the fuck can you do that to me, mate? Get out of here. Reasonable equity, just trashed. Reasonable equity. Passive aggressive biscuit. How's it going? Work wouldn't let me off to work wouldn't let me have the time off, says Uncle Kurt. That also doesn't work. Here, this is Uncle Curtis. I might regret playing this. I think me and Uncle Curtis were doing Gordon Ramsay impressions. He just kept doing, "Fuck me! What are you doing?" Right, turn the beef over, nice, nice, prime, beef. Fuck me! What are you doing? I would love to shove this in this guy's face. No, okay, it's not going to work out on this occasion. We'll always love you. Not a lot I can do here. I think betting the flop is going to be totally acceptable, however. Mateo is asking how much is my rake back in Spin and Go. So I am on the normal stars program. So if you Google stars rewards, depending on what country you're in, it'll give you a breakdown of how the structures work. At the moment, I'm on silver. I haven't really been playing a lot of volume off stream. I was in gold for a small time this year when I was sort of experimenting with the heads up challenge. But when I do the spins challenge, probably will get a decent whack. It's good. I'm about to play some 1-2. Good luck in the 1-2, mate. Anyone be going that PokerStars Open in Manchester later this year? Probably only one. I'll get to, if any. Big deal. I am very interested, mate. Yes, absolutely. I think there's a really good chance I'll go, actually. Do you know what the dates are yet? $10-8 of spades, baby. Oh, glorious. So I've never been to Manchester, or at least I don't remember being in Manchester. But my friend Connor spent some time there, and I think it would be cool to go up and visit with him. Strag is about 50-50. That's a good shot. I mean, if Strag is coming, that increases the chances I'll attend as well. It's always fun doing poker trips with Strag. Always dangerous. Yarp. This is fine. The clown rag is good. Going back up's a good player, man. Definitely a good player. Probably get away with just the one big blind if we want. Getting check shoved on kind of sucks when we have ace-4 though, huh? Marcos. think we probably can get some deuce X, 3X to fold if we do this. Marcos. Check, check. That's annoying. Marcos. King of diamonds, 8 of clubs. Can't fold yet. Oh. That is an interesting turn. So interesting, in fact, we shan't be folding. We just play our hand like this, though, instead. This might be better. 4, 5. We're blocking the flush and the straight. Nice. You love Manchester as a city, I reckon. I hear really good things about Manchester in general, and like especially in the last however many years, like people are saying that it's like really developed like a lot of really cool spots in the city. I don't know. I'm just going on what others have said, but I am keen, absolutely. And it would be cool because I could combine it with a bit of a friends trip and a poker trip. But what I'm anticipating is, with this challenge and with the new move into the new flat, what I'm anticipating is I'll probably end up streaming a lot more in general, which means that I'll have a little bit more scope to do like poker trips and stuff throughout the year, because I'll be getting in the hours Monday to Friday, getting in the reps. And Ochos, again, should be... We should actually have a lot of equity in these situations, generally speaking, but in the blind v blind shoving arena, we seem to be getting cold deck slash not as much equity as we would like. King 7. Uncle Curtis wants you to come to Brighton's drag. King 7, baby. Is it even possible to lose? Keep it cool with the check. Definitely do a Brighton trip this summer, Strag. You can check out the new flat as well. I think you'd like it. Fire up a crazy time spin. Oh, Thomas. You got it straight, ladies and gentlemen. Nice, getting paid. Calls us with a pair of 10s. Trapping King
Actually,
Queen.
if only there was someone
Johnny
that
Fingers, thank you very
was-
much for the
was an
follow.
expert at sub 25
We're
big
obviously
blind,
limping to trap with the King Queen suited here, so wish me luck, gang. Winning flips my speciality. Woo! Johnny! How's it going, bud? What's up, Gabriel? It's good to see you, Senor Gabriel. Those aliens like to party. We can do a couple crazy time streams if you want. Select plus winner, huh? From Brazil. Select plus beasts. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Would you like to bluff, sir? We got 6-7 suited. Can we win this pot? Yes. Ace 10. So spicy here, chat. So spicy. Nice. A little all in, a little call, a little hold. Heads up against Sibe, always tricky. Gabriel says, hey Nick, do you think it's possible to make regular spins on your own these days with a professional approach? Could you rephrase? Do you mean, is it possible to beat spins without, like, studying? Or do you mean it's possible to beat spins on your own outside of an EV pool or something like that? Sibe, man. Here's a grinder. Here's a real grinder. Friend of the stream, longtime friend of the stream. I'm gonna struggle to fold a 6, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna struggle to fold a 6, not gonna lie. Oh. That should be a slowdown card no matter what, really. I mean, what he's trying to tell us is he's got, like, you know, a queen or like kings or, you know, something big. Would he really barrel off on this texture? Possibly. Possibly. Am I folding? No. Yeah. This just strikes me as a board where a lot of strong hands probably are going to shy away from the river. Now, it's not impossible that Sibe can just have a 5. That's definitely a possibility. But I like the aggression. Obviously, that line's going to merit folds for sure. We end up having a pretty strong hand, though, like, you know, from the start. Is it possible for them to value bet aces or kings here? Absolutely. King, queen, absolutely. Queen, jack, absolutely. Even, you know, jacks or 10s, potentially, depending on the read. I do think that generally people are a bit scared on these runouts that we have 6-5, queen 5, you know, 4-5, 3-5. You know what I mean? Anyway, nice call down. Good game for us. Next game, please. So I am working at the Irish Open, Lawler, but I'm also playing. So I'm flying on Sunday, and then my first actual Cards Up stream working is Friday. Outside of an EV pull and study, the answer is, in my opinion, absolutely yes. I personally have never been in an EV pull. I don't necessarily have any issues with the concept because despite the way it sounds when you sort of describe it, everybody in the pool actually benefits when they outperform the others. There's no incentive for people in an EV pool to collude in any way. Because literally, if they're winning more off their opponents in the same pool, then they will literally make more money over time. I think we probably just do this first. 1 mil, what's up, bruv? Good to see you, Huckleberry. We're gonna check raise. When we don't get there, we're gonna check. But yeah, the answer is yes. Short answer is yes, for sure. It really just depends on your propensity for risk, and then also, you know, how do you feel about Okay, I'm done with this hand. I was a bit concerned he might have a hand like that, but it's okay. We actually have a 10 in our hand, which makes it slightly harder for them to have missed draws where we can bluff the river. We have not a great combination to try and do that with, to be honest. Basically, the swings will just be greater. That also will depend on your skill level too, and depends what stakes you're playing. Like there are certain stakes in spinning goes where your chip EV will and it has the possibility to be so high that the actual variance you encounter is not going to be nearly as severe. When you're playing very high level and you only have a few percents, then obviously, you know, you're really a victim of you're up to the mercy of the variance often. Are you going to multi-table during your challenge? Sort of, yes. I think we're probably going to 2-table on stream. Like 100K is a nice big number, but it's also not that many games. If we're playing the 25s, it's like 4K games. If we're playing the 50s, it's like 2K games. In reality, for it to be a real spin and go challenge, we probably want to set ourselves a higher number. But what I want to do is start with a low number. I want to play the games. I want to see how you guys respond to it, and then sort of like figure out like what parts you guys like the most and what you're responding to. And then maybe next year, going into 2026, I'll set a really big target from the start of January, and at that point I'll have like all of the real like projects already ready to go, so the actual content can start flowing right from the start of the year. I'll have all of the streams set up the way that I like it, and like I did have an idea that I wanted to launch at the start of 2025 that didn't work out because just shit got in the way. So I want to start a smaller one now, and then going into 2026 when I know what everyone is really enjoying and how like it's actually content that's being appreciated, straight in. We still have to make some mouth Walsh, by the way. Who else is doing Dry May? Raksha, Nick, and Curtis confirmed. I honestly don't think I'm not going to struggle at all, Tom. Not even a little bit. I'm totally in the mood for it, to be honest. Okay, Reg v Reg. We kind of need to call this one. Wish me luck. Story checks out. Get there, bruh. Yeah, King 9's a bit too good there versus the shoving range. The thing about the push-fold charts, like I said, is often you should not be making reference to pure push-fold because players will have alternative strategies that will be optimal and better, and players won't be shoving the combinations that push-fold charts assume. However, when we are blind v blind, there is a ton of like push-fold that is optimal, and therefore we just need to follow the rules a bit against the regs. Anyway, next spin and go, please. I'd like to accept the next spin and go, please. All right. I mean, Curtis arrived and he agreed to it right away. Oh, nice one. Thank you very much, mods. You guys are way too good. Great copy-paste job over here in the commands. Lovely stuff. Thank you, guys. You are heroes in your own right, as always. Ace Jack of Hearts, baby. Okay, yeah, we got notes on this guy. We got notes on this guy. Yeah, we all saw it. We all saw it. Tom, you're absolutely right. Let's do this one here with this guy. Should we trap check the turn, guys? 13.8 big blinds effective. We can still shove the river if we want. All in. Snap! Now, I don't want to say we know our customer, and I don't want to say we played that hand like an effing genius, but I do want to make this 4 big blinds to go. I don't want to say that that was my finest moment, but I think that was a pretty good one. Can we get much higher? Okay, pretty good turn. We have played with this guy a little bit. I actually think that we're probably going to get too many folds. I might put in a little trap here with the king high version. And then try and get a hero call off a 7 like this. Hero call, 7x. Regs hate when you check. Oh, really? Really? Now, I don't want to say we played this hand well, but chat, we got him. It was only $50, but oh my days. We might not be running our best here, guys, but we are certainly finding some of the tramps of the century. And I will accept. Captier says, how many spinning goes do you play per day? You don't play MTTs. I play MTTs sometimes. I've never played MTTs professionally. I was never interested. When I started playing cards, I really wanted to play professionally. I wanted to take the game at least seriously. And therefore, I started to play cash games at the very beginning. Then I moved on to sit and goes. I tried playing MTTs. I didn't find it enjoyable. I found it quite stressful, actually. I find MTT stressful still to this day. Don't get me wrong. Winning an MTT, one of the best feelings in poker, absolutely. But I wanted to play poker because I wanted it to give me freedom. The freedom to do what I wanted to do, to travel where I wanted to go, to come and go as I pleased. MTTs for me were, you are chaining yourself to an office job because you have to play loads of volume. You have to be behind the desk for hours at a time, even if you're like, running awful. The same is kind of true for tournaments, for cash games and sit and goes for sure. You can run bad, but I just preferred that you could walk when you were done with the session and you didn't feel like you were chained to the desk. I do play MTTs on occasion. I do think I can probably mathematically prove that I am a winning player in MTTs. I probably am above average, which would make sense because if I specialize in sit and goes, well, then that's, sit and goes are tournaments, obviously. But very different from MTTs in the sense that the ICM is considerably different, and in spin and goes, there's no ICM whatsoever. That's so annoying. That is so annoying. But back in the day when I was playing spins full time, which of course I don't anymore, I was playing between 200 and 300 per day for tabling. That was like my peak peak volume output. Yeah, let's give it 2 barrels here, guys. I think a reasonable reg v reg size is three big blinds. Question is, do we triple? And it's a tricky one, honestly. We are unblocking hearts. We aren't unblocking clubs. I think something like this. Let's give it a go. It's not going to work every time, but I think it's good enough. Yeah, King 9 makes perfect sense. Really, really easy call in my opinion there. We are feeding him there, unfortunately. Five, 6 is a good shove. Oh, wow, great flop. GG. Nut flush draw on the flop, turns pair, beautiful stuff, really easy call. There's a question mark there. I need to maybe review that hand overall. I think the triple is going to be fine, but didn't feel as good. I would say that this guy is probably one of the better regs that we play.
Actually, if only there was
Thank you
someone
very much
that
for the new follow.
was an expert at sub 25.
Brontosaur Mouse, great name.
That's what you sound like. That's your voice.
Yeah. Aces are good. Aces are good hand. Aces are spicy combo, good hand poker. We're getting raised for some reason. We shan't be folding. We shan't be folding. Interesting way to play kings. Obviously, aces versus kings doesn't really matter. It's going in the middle no matter what, but you know, spicy stuff, you know what I mean? Now, another heads up against Sibba. Our last match was working out in our favor here a little bit. I think we're value betting here. Get hero called by a 6. Ace high. Nice. And limpy limp. Two over cards, backdoor hearts, got shot. and queen high. I think we're going to start with one of these. This is not the best run out to convince ace high to fold or an 8 or a 6. Nice hand, dude. All right, we have the gut shot. We're gonna rep diamonds if it comes as well. It's not the turn. Not a turn continue. 6-5 suited. Definitely gonna come more into the limping category.
Actually, if only there was
Thank
someone
you very
that
much for the
was an
follow.
expert at sub 25 big blind. That's what you sound like. That's your voice.
Yeah, let's do this instead. Appreciate you. That is Tien. And ace 9, just the slammer here. Just the slammer. We're gonna call a shove if he shoves here against the king queen. Otherwise, we're gonna limp call in position. Very playable combo, often dominating some of the combos that he likes to ISO here as well. Really bad flop. Really, really bad flop. Technically speaking, we can't fold yet. Reg v reg. And now we probably can get away with quite a lot here. Do we go for it, chat? Do we go for it? We made him think about it. We made him think about it for sure. Obviously, we're there trying to represent the straight, which is well within our range. Losing to one card there. Obviously, ace 9 is to call if it's a call. Question is whether or not players generally bluff there. If we have showdown, we don't bluff, right? It's that easy. So we need to end up having something quite specific to be bluffing generally. Yeah, I've got a call here, guys. Wish me luck. Nice hand, Sibe. All right, cool. Next game. If he does turn up with, you know, kings, queens, jacks, tens as well, that's obviously a pretty rough spot for him. Ace 9 is obviously a really nice bluff catcher, but it's not going to be the best hand all the time. We did give a little pause there. We did give just a little pause there. It's an interesting spot as well. It's like, sure, I'll have some king high floats on the flop, but those don't necessarily want to turn their hand into a bluff given the action. Everything else that continues, like if I have an ace, if I have like a weak ace, it's going to be either two pair or I'm just going to check back on the turn of the river. If I have a trap with like kings or queens or whatever, I'm just going to check that down as well. It's kind of it's like the second time today where I think it's hard to find bluffs, basically. There are some specific ones that we might have for various reasons, but like I do think that generally speaking, the call down there, I'm trying to figure out how many bluffs I end up having, and I think I have a few, like the ones that like the one I just had, but not many more. Because tons of the other stuff that has showdown doesn't bluff, doesn't need to bluff even. Tons of the stuff that I have that is made doesn't need to bluff full stop, so that just wouldn't be a part of it. There's a lot of stuff that I just have to fold on the flop immediately on the ace high texture immediately, so it's not like I end up having like Jack 10 off or, you know, 8-9 suited or something like that. I think it's a good line. And obviously we've understood that he's going to have some strength that we could potentially get to fold still. Gone 7-8 call. Call me with 7-8. Definitely a call, guys. Wish me luck. You see how much equity the 6-7 has here. That's definitely the right shove from Sibe there. And ace 3, just the push here against the reg. King 10, just a shove versus limp. Can actually get called by Jack 10 here still, 9-10 here still. 9-10 suited, Jack 10 suited are limp calls at that stack depth. Alright, come on, let's smash this guy heads up. Let's smash it heads up here. Queen deuce is a shove versus limp. 9 deuce at this stack depth can come out now. Jack 3 off. Let's randomize that one. Okay, we're running it. We are gonna run it. God, when we hit the 3 here, it's difficult to know how to proceed. Okay, on this turn, if he shoves, I think we got a call now. You know, could be a 7 for sure, but it's going to be a lot of other draws. If it is a 3, we usually have the 3 out kicked. Kind of just is what it is. Ooh, very lucky on the river there. Pocket 10s. I think that's a very well played pocket 10s, to be honest. I think pocket 10s can limp call here pre-flop, especially if you think that I'm capable of raising as wide as this heads up. I think Moors has played this hand really fucking good, to be honest. And yeah, there you go, nice hand. Very well disguised combo. That's why he's getting paid in the first place. But we take him. We take some run good. I haven't seen the graph for today yet, guys. We'll take a look in a mo. It's going to be a roller coaster. I think we might have redeemed ourselves towards the end of today's stream, but I don't think it's been a great one for the EV. Last session was pretty good for EV, though. Okay, we made top pair against an aggressive reg. We will be playing it slow, trying to let our opponent barrel off at us. I think the trick is basically just to check call all the way down. Otherwise, we got to try and get some value this way. Oh, this is so annoying. I don't know if we can fold, guys. Like, obviously, this can just be Queen Jack still. Thing is, he can still have King 10. He can still have 9-10. We've under-repped our hands to the point where I think we need to call, unfortunately. But ugh, so annoying. So annoying. Could just have bluffs as well, even. I mean, we are obviously not supposed to be super strong on that board given the action. All right, let's just take another look at it. Let's give this a proper think. Let's not just get frustrated and just throw this one away. So far, so good. Definitely good line. So far, so good. So, on the river, let's try and be real here. Let's try and be realistic. Our opponent will not play ace-king like this, so that we're not losing to that. To be honest, our opponent probably doesn't play aces or kings or threes like this either, because that would just be bet flop, bet turn really easily. There might be some checking with like top set or something like that, but we're not losing to any of those. Ace 10 is also a combination we're not losing to, because that probably just bets flop, bets turn again. That seems like a slam dunk 2-barrel. Our opponents will probably not have missed diamonds too often. Sometimes, I guess. It's not crazy, but usually they'll bet flop. If they are betting their flush draw on the flop, they tend to bet the turn on the ace high texture as well. Does our opponent really do this with 10-9? Realistically, probably not. Does our opponent really do this with King 10? Maybe. King 10 is definitely a possibility. King 9 probably just bets the turn. So, you know, if we're being fair, if we're being honest and not just trying to be a smartass all the time, when our opponent shoves here, I think it's really hard for him not to literally have fucking Queen Jack. It's one of those. Set of tens as well. That definitely would shove river. That we lose to that too. That would make tons of sense. No, this is just a bad call, honestly. Like, it's obviously a cold deck, and you can't fault me for calling with ace nine in this situation. But given the action, if I'm being honest, I think we probably just need to fold. Like, he's gonna have a set of tens. He's gonna have Queen Jack. I don't even know if King 10 plays this as a raise on the river. Like, it's possible. Like I said, because we've under-repped our hand pre-flop, King 10 is going to be the best hand a lot of the time, and most people will try and punish an ace or maybe a weaker king. No, it's just a fold, and I just need to fucking chill out and take a breath before I start snapping this shit off. This is what tilts me the most, guys. Is I just think, like, this is an annoying spot, and that's cool. That's just poker. That's not a big deal. Annoying situations in poker happen all the time, and, like, it's cool. We need to, like, not let it get to us, because it's just kind of is what it is. Like I've said 1,000 times before, there are so many cold deck spots in Texas Hold'em that are really annoying at the time, but in reality, you're going to do the same thing to other people, and it's just, in the long run, it's going to even out. But what really tilts me is when I get in this, like, mood where I'm acting too quickly. And I think probably if I just fucking chilled out and used some time bank, I'd probably just find this fold on the river, and it's just fucking stupid that I don't. It's just a waste of fucking chips. All right, next game. Deep breath, next game. Going back up has the pow on Nick. Absolutely. I mean, look, I think they're a really good player. They've been on the right side of some pretty silly pots today, but I don't want to take anything away from them. They definitely play well. It's a nice turn. Fairly clean. Fairly clean stuff. All right. Next game. Yo, Wix, what's up? Good to see you. All right, Queen 4 suited. Let's take a flop. We have gut shots. Have gut shots. We have ace nine. I would prefer if the big blind didn't wake up with it. Nice. We have ace five suited. It's a big 3-bet, right? So not all in. Feels good. Quarter pot feels good. Being ill, so not working. Lol. What you been up to? Just grinding the usual stuff. Sorry to hear you've been ill. I've got a bit of a runny nose right now. I don't know what's going on. Get that every once in a while. Let's do this. This is better. And definitely a call. Spiking A9 is something. Does the 6 of hearts slow him down at all? Little blocker bet on the river. This is quite a nice spot to have a blocker bet because we can still get called by worse, but also if he has aces or something, it's hard for him to put in a raise for more. Nice. Get called here by 5-4 of clubs. King, queen, just the easy push here against the 2 shorter stacks. Nice, getting walks is great. And just the fold here, I think. Wow, Jack 7 off, good flop. 7, 8, 9, 10, Jack. And now we play in position with the nice 6, 7 suited, beautiful hand. We have managed to connect with a 7, which is always nice. Sevens and trays with an ace. Nice. All right, heads up against the unknown player here. We can just shove King 9. I think we're fine to play a much more passive game against this player. Doesn't seem particularly aggro, so we can take some of the variance out of the game and just grind him down instead. They're going to give us lots of walks, it seems, as well, which is always really cute. Probably need to call this one, though, guys. Queen Jack suited just has so much equity. Wish me luck. Nice. Great outcome. That's better. $75. Next game, please. We've almost cleared our points here. That was a really clean game for the EV though, guys. No action with the king queen suited. Such a pretty hand. Pink Pony Club. Yeah, the motherfucker, the Pink Pony Club. Yeah, we got some aces and we're gonna steal. We're gonna steal. Go on, do it. Do it. Do it. No! No action with the aces. Pink Pony Club. Tom wants to see the graph. We're almost there. We're almost at graph time. We are almost at graph time. Combo draw, Tom. Combo draw. Why is it so painful? Pink Pony Club. Why do I want to bluff so bad? Why do I want to bluff so bad? He's all in. All right, fine. If you insist, you can shove now if you want. All right, fine. All right. Pretty standard push here. We've really been leaning on this player this game. Fair fight. No flips, huh? Ain't winning flips today. No fucking flips. No, we're not gonna win no fake fucking flips. That will save us a few buckers. Here's the hand we can't fold. Wish me luck, chat. We're in. That's very fair with the queen jack. I think might prefer just to shove that one at that stack depth, but I can't remember exactly. Probably one or two games today before we wrap things up. We've certainly played some volume. I don't know how productive it was. We'll find that out in just a moment when we look at the graph. I would say that we played pretty well today overall. A couple big ones that I prefer to have not lost. That ace-9 one is probably a good example of my mind not being quite right. Maybe I'm being a bit overly harsh on myself, but I find that when I'm playing slower in my mind, when I'm not rushing, we tend to have much better results. Like, not just a little bit, like a lot better. And for that reason, I think maybe It's just really, really important that we fix that as part of our sort of ritual before we play. Make sure that we're in a chilled state to play. Make sure that we are feeling good about taking our time. We're going to want to call this one for sure. Wish me luck, guys. Oh, easy crack. Nice hand, bro. That's definitely a call, though. We can look that one up if you want. That was about 7 bigs. Yeah, it was about 7 bigs. Notepad. 7 button. We'll look that one up before we wrap today's sesh. I'm almost positive we need a call there. Cold decked again. Getting lucky is good too. All right, no good. One more game and we will wrap for today. I think all that's pretty standard. The 10-9 suited one is one of those where I'm almost positive that we're supposed to call. However, it does feel like one that you can, you might just omit because you're in a good position in the tournament, but I don't know. Math says no. Mathematics say no. If you guys stick around for one more, we are going to put in a little 3-bet here as a bluff. Fuck off. They always have it, mate. We're going to take a look at the graph after this, guys. We'll also take a look at that hand for review, and we'll do some short analysis. Oh, that spot annoys me. Such a prime 3-bet bluff spot, and this geezer is just got it. Just like, sure. Hey Lewis, how's it going? Yeah, we're not sure yet, buddy. It's been a bit of a roller coaster. I honestly don't know where we're at profit-wise or anything. We'll refresh the graph in a mo. We'll take a look after this game. It's been a bit of a rough one, though. I think we've been running okay, but I think we've been playing all right, too. Bluffs aren't doing so hot today, although they were very well timed, in my opinion. Call. Come on, give me the flush, bro. Give me the flush, bro. Can we get away with it? Woo! Can we get away with it? Can we get away with this? Take that, bro. Pink Pony Club, check and shove the turn like a pink pony club. We're gonna raise as a bluff, taking it down, Mr. Blind, baby blind. Blind the blind. Can we finish with $100 finish? Can we finish with $100 business? Can we finish with $100 mission? That's a bit of a cooler for Kirill. Does have top pair there. What's she gonna do though? Rebates? Rebates? Rebates. Okay, why are you check raising like a lunatic? I mean, it just feels like it's going to be a flush draw or a straight draw when he does this, to be honest. Go with my gut. Oh, he has a set of twos. Nice hand, bro. Fuck off, dude. Honestly, what an absolutely hilarious spot. Okay, well, this is something we need to note for sure. Like extremely important. There are two things that we need to know here that are already very weird. Yeah, I mean, look. First of all, the pocket twos are supposed to be shoved pre-flop. You can call them, that's fine. Doesn't matter. I'm not saying everybody has to play by the same rules. That's cool. Once we arrive on the flop, though, why are you doing everything in your power to convince me to fold a hand this hand? Like, on a different day, I'm just going to go, why is this guy check raising so big? Okay, I'm just going to assume he has a monster and just fold. Check raising from 1 big blind to nearly 6 big blinds. I mean, you're just absolutely telegraphing the strength of your hand in a way that is so unusual, it actually looks very weak, which is why I'm calling down here and assuming he has a draw. The interesting thing about this situation is, obviously, on this occasion, he's got us for sure. He owned us in this spot, no problem. I've got no problem accepting that. But when we actually see this, it means in future, when we see similar behavior, it's going to be telegraphed. It's going to be a telegraphed super strength. And now we have the note. It's all good. Do you still have step 1 tickets for Power Path? You can add those in on the side as well. Sorry, man, I don't understand. For what? I do have some step 1 Power Path tickets, but not sure. Do you mean for Lex Live? Oh, I see what you're saying. Satellites are available from $2.20 Power Pass Silver Passes. I see what you're saying, yeah. We can... might fire some of those. Anyway, GG. No good in this one. Obviously, kudos to ZTN for getting the chips here. We have the note, so in future it's all good. We're gonna see through this next time. But Yeah, don't know. Got to go with the gut. When people check raise that big, they don't have sets. It's just not a thing, full stop. And if they do, cool. Then the next time we play, we're going to know what's going on. So happy days. That is it for today. Let's take a look at some graphs. And also we have one hand for review. Let's take a look at this bad boy. All right, big graph first. This is our graph year to date. Okay, so more flatness, but I think that dip was what we had today. So let's filter specifically for today. And you guys can see, yeah, as anticipated, a bit of a roller coaster. Our red line is actually doing okay, but overall flatness, not really much to report. That's kind of how the session felt, right? It felt very flat. Don't feel like we went on any catastrophic downswings, but also nothing really exciting either. Last session was really exciting. You know, if we actually filter specifically for this week, you guys can see, you know, actually running pretty far above EV, excuse me, which again makes sense on the bigger graph. So if we're looking specifically at this year, there had to be some catch up. We were so far under EV in terms of chips that, you know, that's how that works. Sometimes you get flatness and your graph goes up, sometimes your EV goes up and you don't win any chips, blah, blah, blah. It's just all part of the process. So overall, if we're looking at our results this year, guys, currently a chip EV of 48 chips per game, very solid, very profitable. We're winning about $45.50 overall, which again is a low number for the amount of poker that we've played this year. However, we are expecting, you know, a few percentage points of ROI overall pre-rake back. And we're running bad forever here. So, of course, this is basically us just making up for lost time and just winning binds that we should have won before. If we look at today's results, overall chip EV minus number, like you guys can see here, big loss at the end. That would have kept us pretty much break even in chips. Down $150. Again, doesn't feel great, but well. Just another session, just another day in the office, and it's all good. So last things last. We're going to look this one up. So PokerStars is officially now closed. We're about to make reference to GTO Wizard, which of course is never to be used while you're playing on PokerStars and will be detected. So let's open this up quick. Let me just find the right window for you guys. I don't know why it's not just popping as a recommended. I open it often. All right, so we're looking at. That sounds like a really interesting. Sounds like a really interesting coaching session, actually. Anyway, let's take a look at this. All right, so we're now in GTO Wiz. I just wanted to take a look at the 7 big blind shove here. Do we have the actual hand? Let's see if we can find the hand itself. So we had 10-9 suited, didn't we? I think this is the spot. Yeah, okay, cool. So basically 6 big blinds, 7 big blind shoves, they fold, 10-9 suited call. So I wanted to take a look at this one, but I wanted to look at the asymmetrical solve for it. So 7 big blind shoves. Let's say it's 7, 11, 19, or as close as we can get to that. Asymmetric 7, 11, 19. Tell you what, let's just look at this one. This will be close enough. So button is all in for 7, small blind folds, big blind, 10-9 suited, mandatory call, mathematically speaking. Do we adjust it all in this situation for players specifically? The only way I would fold this is if I thought they were like the tightest player on planet Earth. When they shove 7 big blinds from the button, even inexperienced players will have enough of their range in there that we probably still want to call with all of these combinations. And take a mark. Looks good. All right, cool. So feeling good about that one. That works fine for me. And that's going to be a wrap for today's session. So as I mentioned earlier, guys, no stream tomorrow. I've got a doctor's appointment, and I've also got some life admin to do with the flat move that I need to sort out. I've got like 3 appointments tomorrow, all around the same time that we would usually stream. But I will be streaming on Friday, potentially MTTs. If you don't already follow me, you can get links, !Nick in the chat. In fact, that should post to both Nightbot on YouTube and Nightbot on Twitch now. Thank you very much, mods. If you guys are interested in looking at any of my material on my website, nickwalshtv.com, please check out my Instagram, check out my Discord, check out my Twitter, check out my YouTube, etc. At the moment, there's not a lot of stuff going on there because I'm in the process of figuring out the new content plan, and I'm also in the process of moving, which will allow me to make a lot more content in the future. So I am going to be doing a spin and go challenge of some variety this year, and I'll be getting that online pretty much as soon as I can after probably like Scoopish time. I think there's a chance I might even get it online before May. I need to speak to an editor and see if we can get something in the mix. But if you guys are into that, you know, there's going to be stuff that you can follow along with on any platform. So drop me a follow. Right, I'm going to wrap there, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys on Friday for some more Spin and Go action. And then after that, we go to Ireland. So I'll see you guys then. Goodbye.